Alright folks, gather round and let me tell you about the time I, a regular dude with a regular appetite, decided to eat like a bodybuilder for a week. I'm talking protein shakes, chicken breasts, and brown rice galore. Let me tell you, it was an experience to say the least. First things first, let's talk about the diet plan. I'm not gonna lie, it was intense. We're talking 6 meals a day, every 2 to 3 hours. Each meal was a carefully calculated mix of protein, carbs, and healthy fats. Think mountains of chicken breast, oceans of egg whites, and enough broccoli to make a forest. Now, I consider myself a relatively healthy eater. I enjoy my veggies and I don't shy away from a good salad. But this was a whole new level of commitment. Gone were my usual pizza nights and beer with the buddies. It was all about fueling the gains, baby. Let me tell you, the meal prep was no joke. My kitchen transformed into a war zone of Tupperware containers and boiling pots. I spent what felt like an eternity weighing, measuring, and portioning out my meals for the week. Sunday evenings became a culinary boot camp. I'm talking mountains of chicken breast, forests of broccoli, and enough brown rice to feed a small army. By the time I was done, my fridge looked like a scene straight out of a bodybuilder's documentary. And let's not even get started on the dishes. The worst part? The constant fear of misplacing a Tupperware container. Losing one meant throwing off the entire balance of my meticulously planned diet. It was like playing food Jenga, except the stakes were my gains. Protein, 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 it was the name of the game. I was on a quest to consume enough protein to build a skyscraper out of muscle. Chicken breasts, fish, lean beef, you name it, I was eating it. Don't even get me started on the protein shakes. I swear I could smell whey protein in my sleep. The funny thing is, the constant protein intake started to mess with my taste buds. Everything started tasting like, well, chicken. I swear I could have eaten a piece of cardboard if you told me it had enough protein to fuel a small car. But hey, I was determined to see this through. I pushed through the monotony, the protein farts, oh yeah, those were real, and the constant feeling of fullness. I was a man on a mission and nothing was going to stop me. Are you still eating that? Eating like a bodybuilder is not exactly conducive to a thriving social life. Friends would invite me out for pizza, and I'd show up with my trusty Tupperware container of chicken and broccoli. Let's just say I got a lot of strange looks. Dating was even worse. Oh, you're ordering pasta? That's cute. I'll have the grilled chicken breast with a side of steamed vegetables. Hold the butter, please. Needless to say, I didn't get a second date. But hey, at least I was fueling those gains, right? Okay, maybe I was being a little dramatic, but you have to understand the social pressure was real. It was like I was speaking a different language, the language of macros and meal timings. The energy roller coaster from zero to hero and back. Let's talk about the energy levels, or lack thereof. The first few days were rough. I felt like I was dragging myself through quicksand. My body was adjusting to the drastic change in diet and it wasn't pretty. I'm talking caffeine withdrawals, sugar crashes, the whole 9 yards. But then, something amazing happened. Once my body adapted, my energy levels skyrocketed. I felt like I could conquer the world, one protein shake at a time. I was focused, alert, and surprisingly productive. Of course, this being a roller coaster and all, there were lows. Like the times I'd miscalculate my meal timing and end up feeling faint from hunger. Or the evenings I was so exhausted from all the chewing and digesting that I could barely keep my eyes open. Unexpected victories. Abs, I see you. Now I wasn't expecting any miracles from this little experiment, but I have to admit, there were some unexpected victories. First and foremost, I lost weight. Not a ton, but enough to notice a difference in how my clothes fit, and then there were the abs. Oh, the abs. Now I'm not talking about a full-on six-pack, but let's just say I saw a glimmer of what could be. A subtle hint of muscle definition peeking through. It was enough to keep me motivated, to keep me pushing for those gains. But the biggest victory of all, I gained a newfound respect for bodybuilders. The dedication, the discipline, the sheer willpower it takes to stick to a diet like that, day in and day out, is nothing short of inspiring. Lessons from the Iron Temple of Food. It's about balance, bro. So, after a week of living, breathing, and eating like a bodybuilder, what did I learn? Well, for starters, I learned that I am not cut out to be a bodybuilder. Don't get me wrong, I admire their dedication. But for me, life is too short to be a slave to Tupperware containers and protein shakes. I also learned that balance is key. While I may not be pounding protein shakes every 2 hours, I am more mindful of my protein intake and overall nutrition. I'm incorporating more whole foods into my diet and cutting back on the processed junk. But perhaps the most important lesson I learned is that it's okay to indulge every now and then. Life is all about balance, right? So go ahead, have that slice of pizza, enjoy that beer with your buddies, just maybe not every day. After all, you don't want to waste all those hard-earned gains.